Chicago, like most big cities, has its fair share of unsolved crime. And in most of these cases, somebody saw or heard something. It could be a suspicious person, a car driving away from the scene, or simply overhearing somebody talking about the case. With your help, we can put these criminals behind bars where they belong. Here in Chicago, we have too many unsolved murders. We need your help. In these cases, the police department is only as strong as the citizens that get involved. Oftentimes, all the detectives need is a tip, a start. Somebody to call in and say, I saw something. Any little information that you know can be the impetus to solve the entire case. On tonight's episode, we'll be featuring the case of 22-year-old Johnnie Dickson III. On April 10th, 2015, Johnnie Dickson III, a happy, good-hearted young man, was out of town with some friends. When he returned home to his residence, he tried to enter through the back door, but the door was locked. As Johnnie walked to the front of the residence, he was confronted by an unknown individual who fired multiple shots, killing Johnnie. Here's his story.
Well, I had my son, Johnnie Dickson, February 3rd, 1993. That was my first child. I was happy to have my baby. That was my only son.
Johnnie was born prematurely too, so it was a lot of work put into him. It was fun. It was a fun time when he was coming up.
He didn't ever hardly get sick or anything. He was just to himself. He just played. I never had any problems out of him.
Johnnie was funny. He liked to joke a lot. Joke and smile. He always smiled, and every time you see him, he's smiling.
He showed his teeth from ear to ear. He was like the jokester, the one that make everybody laugh and have fun.
As a little kid, we just did a lot of stuff. We just had fun.
He was playing baseball. We had to go to that all the time. Bitty basketball, went to that all the time.
We wake up at like 6 in the morning. We get up, we just go out, and we just be out all day. Either we trying to do something to get some money, or we just out enjoying the weather.
He hung around his friends a lot. He was always with them. They just lift weights, go to dances, like the May dance. That was his first dance. He had girlfriends.
Johnnie and I met at one of my basketball games. I was a cheerleader. It just happened to be that one day he called me and we was acting silly on the phone. One day I was like, I kind of like you. And he was like, well, I like you too, so maybe we should do something about that. We ended up being in a relationship, and after that, we became the best of friends. We enjoyed each other's company. Him as a person, period, in your life would definitely make your life feel much better.
Everybody loved him. Everybody loved him. Anybody that came around him fell in love with him. He was real built, cut up. He worked out all the time.
Oh, he loved lifting weights. He had a good physique. And he loved eating healthy, drinking eggs.
Johnnie drinking raw eggs was the highlight of my day when I first seen it.
Like he just eat healthy. That's just what he wanted to do though. That's just the type of person he is. He do his own thing.
Johnnie was all about family. He did nothing but care and love his daughter. He was a very strong, independent father. He took care of Carmen.
Make sure she do what she had to do in school. Make sure she get up and go to school. You know, what a father supposed to do. He is a good father, a very great father. They were very close. She loved her daddy.
That's the best thing ever happened to me since she's been here. And he did a good job with her while he was here. He was a good father. It made me feel good. It made me feel like I did something right. She loved him to death.
And they would read together, do homework, and that's what he had to do as a father. He loved reading. They read the Bible, they read books all the time. So they had a good communication together. Their reading, they enjoyed that a lot.
He was really intelligent, and he wants to be a psychologist. So I'm like, why don't you do that? Like, I could come to you for everything you know what to do. So he was like, well, we could do that. We can go to college together. So I said, well, let's do this. Like, we already got our future planned out. He was my encouragement, he was my motivation, and he still is my motivation.
I love my child. I hate that my child is not here more than anybody would know. I understood him. We were close.
He was a very good person. He didn't deserve that, what happened to him.
On April 10th, 2015, we received a 911 call for shots fired. Subsequently, I was notified of a homicide victim in the 2200 block of Carolina Street. The victim was later identified as Mr. Johnnie Dickson III.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
On April 10th, 2015, we received a 911 call for shots fired. Subsequently, I was notified of a homicide victim in the 2200 block of Carolina Street. The victim was later identified as Mr. Johnnie Dickson III.
April 8th, that was my last time actually spending time with him. We was sitting on my bed talking about how we wanted to leave Gary, start a whole new life, family, and us going to school like we said. We had it all planned out.
I talked to Johnnie the day before that because he came home. I guess somehow the door was unlocked. He called me at work. He said, Dad, the door unlocked. I said, well, just stay there till your mother gets there. He said, okay. But this particular day, I worked a double, and I didn't go over there. I wish I had went.
We was together every day, so he was like kind of mad I was leaving, but I got 2 kids in Indianapolis, so I went out there with them. But I was just telling him, like, I'll be back, I'm gonna come back. I'm just trying to go get my kids for a little while.
The last day I saw my son, he wanted money to go out. And I said, if I give you money to go to this club, would you come back the next day and do yard work for me? And he said, yes, Mama, I'll be here first thing in the morning to do yard work for you. And I said, okay. And he never made it back to do the yard work.
Johnnie Dickson, in the early morning hours, was dropped off in this alley right down there. According to some witnesses, he tried to enter the back of his residence. He was loud bangs on the door, possibly could have been kicks. Nobody answered the door. There was somebody there. That person was asleep. He came this way, he hopped the fence, and tried to go around through the front door. As he got to the corner of the building, he was confronted by at least one assailant, and he was fatally shot. Concerned citizen called the police, called 911, and said shots fired. He said approximately 20 to 25 shots and a possible man down. Subsequently, patrol units responded. I responded to the scene at 2200 Carolina Street in Gary, Indiana. Upon arrival, I noticed a male black laying on the ground, several gunshot wounds through his clothes. I noticed about 20 to 25 shell casings at the scene.
So when that happened, I got the call. I was still in Indianapolis. One of my friends called me and told me, like, yeah, Johnnie just got killed. I'm like, what happened? He got shot in the color doors, woo. So right then and there, my heart dropped.
I got the call 2 hours later that he was dead. I didn't know what to say. I was in shock. I'm like, Ma, you kidding, right? I really didn't know how to take it when I got the call.
I had a phone call from my nephew in the middle of the night.
I heard him on speakerphone. Tell Uncle Johnny to get down here right now. I jumped up. I went down there. I got in the house. Police was in there. I was like, what's going on? And police asking me, are you the father? I said, the father of what? Ain't nobody saying that. I went outside the door. He was laying on the sidewalk. There was a lot of police, and they wouldn't let me go down there to him. They was doing, you know, I guess collecting bullet shells or whatever.
After that, Lake County coroner arrived on the scene. They took custody of the body. Lake County CSI collected all evidence. 10 to 14 Lake County and Gary police officers. They roped off the scene. People just outside seeing what was going on. The victim, he was laid out in front, like right down the pathway from his house.
When I came back, went over there with my uncle and auntie, sat over there with them, tried to get them a little comfort and stuff, but can't do nothing really about that. That's their only son.
The last thing I seen was putting my son in the bag.
On April 10th, 2015, we received a 911 call for shots fired. Subsequently, I was notified of a homicide victim in the 2200 block of Carolina Street. The victim was later identified as Mr. Johnnie Dickson III.
It just killed me. Like this person I be with every day. Like this is my man, we every day. Every time somebody sees this, me and him, we together every day. So like, that really messed me up when it happened and I wasn't there.
I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't sleep. Johnnie as a person, like how could something like that happen to him?
Later on, it affected me when I was by myself. That's when I broke down. Everybody came back to my house and we just sat around sobbing. And everybody just tried to stay with us as long as they could.
He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking about driving back. I'm like, man, if I was there, it probably went another, I thought it was another way, or he probably wouldn't have went out there that night if I was with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe I could have changed and maybe he'd still be here right now. Still eat me up every day though.
My son didn't deserve this. My son was a good baby. And I can't believe somebody did that to him. And I hate that because that was my only child.
Lake County CSI collected all evidence. There was about 20 to 25 shell casings around the body and throughout various parts of the complex. It's mainly residential. It's all between 21st Avenue and Virginia Street. A couple gas stations and a liquor store on that corner. A lot of people were outside at the time. I spoke to a couple people out there, asking were they willing to come down and talk or did they see anything. Most of the people told me no, they didn't want to come down. One witness there who was saying that he had just dropped the victim off about an hour before this happened. And he was willing to come down to the station, but he didn't want to come down at the time. The next day, approximately about 9 to 10 in the morning, the witness came down. He gave me a statement. He was saying that the prior day, or prior to him dropping his friend off, they were at his girlfriend's house, just having fun, just relaxing, drinking, having a good time. He said he then told me he dropped him off. He said about 30 minutes later, he heard that there was some shooting in the color doors. That's what they call that area. He said so he went back because he knew he just dropped his friend off. By the time he got back, the police were surrounding the scene and he heard that it was his friend, Mr. Johnnie Dickson III.
It changed a lot of people, like not just mine. It's a lot of my friends used to be around, it changed their life too. It changed a lot of people, like he meant something to a lot of people. Like he was a really inspiring, inspiring person. Like he know how to, like I said, he know how to make you smile and know how to make you laugh when you mad or you sad. He know how to bring you up. So like, who don't want a person around them like that that can make you smile all the time?
I don't sleep good. It's just constantly bothered. It's on my mind all the time. So I want to act on it, but I know I can't. If I do, it's going to make other people miserable.
I have bad days. This whole April month was a bad day for me. My son died April 10th. I've been crying every night. I'm really just laying around not doing anything. Just trying to maintain being here.
I was so bad off. It was literally torture. I tried to still go to work with all this going on. And I can't even get through the door. Somebody was like, I'm really sorry for your loss. I broke down right there.
Keep praying that I just hold strong.
Since Brandon been gone, I don't want to live in Gary, Indiana anymore.
I see they try to stay strong as they can. But I know deep down inside it's really hurting because that's their only child. So I know it's kind of affecting them.
I spoke to a couple other witnesses, but subsequently, no solid leads at this time. Everybody we talked to either heard the shots and got down, which is normal, which is safe practice, or didn't hear the shots at all, or weren't at home.
Every day people have to worry about, is my son okay? Because, he's out there. And I'm glad he don't have to go through that. I know my son was going through so much. Now he's, he's at peace now.
Shouldn't no father have to bury their son? He's supposed to bury me.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
On April 10th, 2015, we received a 911 call for shots fired. Subsequently, I was notified of a homicide victim in the 2200 block of Carolina Street. The victim was later identified as Mr. Johnnie Dickson III. This is a young man who was an upstanding citizen of the community, who didn't cause any trouble, had custody of his daughter, basically a functioning member of society doing what he's supposed to do. And for somebody to take his life and not be brought to justice, that's an injustice. We need the public's help.
I wouldn't see why nobody would want to kill Johnnie anyway, because he wasn't that type of person to be in drama and beef and all that stuff. He wasn't that type of person. He just stayed to himself and do what he had to do for his daughter.
I do want closure because I don't feel that he deserved what he got. That changed a lot of people's lives. His parents, his child has to live without a father. Me.
Was a year. April 10th was a year. We just want closure, that's all.
Someone knows what happened to my son. My son didn't deserve to be shot. And people just out saying he say, she say stuff. They know what happened to my baby. It makes no sense to me.
I was born and raised in Gary. I'm from here. I love this city, and it's just sad when things like this happen and nobody comes forward, because we want some closure for this family. The mother and father, they're good people. I've spoke with them numerous times. They just want justice for their son. Well, right now it's cold. It's just we've exhausted all our leads. We need to get bring these killers to justice, because what you're not saying today, it could be your son tomorrow.
I'm just trying to do the best that I can, but I'm not a happy person. That was my life. He's my life. That was my joy.
They should have thought about taking his life before they did it, because he wasn't that type of person. He got a daughter, he still got a daughter here, and he ain't here to take care of her, so y'all took something away from him. It's messed up that y'all killed my cousin for no reason.
You never know, you never expect this to happen. I didn't even see this, coming. Brandon wasn't like that. All we want is some justice for Brandon, because he didn't deserve that.
He needs closure too. Even though he's not here, he's still here in spirit. He needs closure also. I even blame myself for it, because I'm like, I should have been there.
It's like I wake up every day and it just be on my mind.
If people have information on Johnny's death, I would love for them to come forward.
I would like for them to come and tell the police, and if they are afraid that it could be confidential.
Contact the police department and turn it over to the right people so we can get some closure.
It would be nice for somebody to come forward and be like, you know, I know this, this, and this.
Let people know what's going on, because my auntie and my uncle need closure. They're still trying to figure out what happened to them and what was going on. It'll give me a little relief, but it's still gonna mess with me every day.
Please, just confess. I don't want nobody to get the death penalty. Just apologize, just give yourself up. And I think you're on the run and you know you made a big, big mistake. Because my son was a pleasant person. He just tried to help everybody.
I've seen things like this too often, you know, and this is one of the reasons that I became a police officer, is to help bring the city back up to what it once was. If anybody at the time saw a gunman leaving the scene, anybody suspicious around the scene, if you heard 2 men arguing, if you heard 3 men arguing, if you heard anything suspicious at the time the shots were fired or immediately after, please give us a call. They can contact the Lake County Metro Homicide Unit at 219-755-3852. You can ask for me, Detective Alexander Jones. If you want to remain anonymous, you can call 1-866-CRIME-GP. The police can't do it alone. The community can't do it alone. We got to do it together.
I feel that I died along with him.
He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. What you do in the dark will come to the light.
The cases featured on tonight's episode remain unsolved, and we need your help. If you have any information on tonight's episode or any of the cases featured on the show, please give the detectives a call. We need our communities to come together so we can take back our streets and make our neighborhoods safe again.